Yo, peace was good. Welcome to the install my CD collection. This is part 142. I know it's been a while. It's been, I think, close to like 2 months. I think the last time I did a CD collection was I think like towards the end of May. So I was like, you know what? I've bought a couple CDs since then. It's more than a couple, but you know what I'm trying to say. So without further ado, let's get on with the first CD of the video. First CD of the video, we're gonna go to the UK. All right, I'm gonna chill my man right here, drink some Guinness with him. We're talking to my man Sting with the 10 Summoner Tales released in 1993. I believe this is his. I want to say his fifth album because we had the Dream, the Blue Turtles, nothing under the sun. Um, then the Soul Cages album that came out in '90, which is the underrated album. And yeah, so this would be his fourth album, I believe. Yeah, so released in 1993. Um, dope album right here. You know what I mean? This album, it has 11 tracks, but practically half the album are singles. You know what I mean? Um, you got songs like "If I Ever Lose My Faith in You," fucking love that joint. Like, that song screams like early 90s, like 91, 92, 93. It just screams that, but in a good way, of course. Um, Fields of Gold, fucking love that joint right there. Um, it's Probably Me. I love that shit. I love that song right there. But you have to be careful. There's two versions of that. So you got the Lethal Weapon 3 soundtrack version with Eric Clapton with it's like the acoustic version, and then you got to me would be like the original version, which I prefer the album version. It has like a more dark kind of vibe to it. You know, it has like that the nice saxophone, and it has like a very cinematic. It's like really dope. I really enjoyed that. And Shape of My Heart, everybody knows that. Nas used that for this. He sampled that for The Message. Rest in peace to Juice WRLD. He used that for Lucid Dreams that everybody was going crazy over when that song first came out. You know what I mean? So, um, supposedly there's he remastered this. It was like a digital only release. It was like a more like expanded version. So pretty much just like like vinyl version, like songs that didn't make the album, the original cover of the album. So like songs like Everybody Laugh But You, which was pretty dope too. You can find that on YouTube, and songs like that, and like live versions, and you know B sides and things like that. And it just, but it's like an online release only. You know what I mean? It's like a digital file. But yeah, Sting with the 10 Summoner Tales, released in 1993, dope album. I definitely need to get more of his albums. So I got this and the Dream of the Blue Turtles, which I think is a very underrated album. I have to get Nothing Under the Sun, which I always see all the time when I go digging. I just never bothered to pick it up. And the Soul Cages album from '91 was another dope album. That's another slept on album. Yeah, because the album like that was dedicated to his father. The album had like more like a somber feel, very, that kind of thing. This album was like a little bit more upbeat, but it's dark at the same time. If that makes sense. But yeah, Sting, 10 Summoner Tales, released in 1993, dope shit. And then we still in the UK. We're gonna go with Lisa Stanfield with Real Love. This was released in 1991. This is a second album. It came out in '91. When I picked this album up, I thought it had that song All Around the World, which everybody knows that song. Like, that song was very popular in the late '80s, early '90s, even up to this day. But it was really big in the late '80s, early '90s because it came out in '89. Is off her first album, Affection, which I believe that's like her best-selling album because of that song All Around the World. Yeah, I love that song. But this is her second album. It's pretty much in the same vein as Affection, like that house R&B kind of feel to it. Pretty dope. Kind of like if you like Soul to Soul, like that kind of stuff, like that British R&B, that kind of thing. That you'll definitely enjoy this shit right there. You'll definitely enjoy her music. It's known for singles Change or Woman, Time to Make You Mine, Set Your Loving Free, and A Little More Love. To me, standout tracks for me are Change, um, the self-titled track Real Love, Set Your Loving Free, I Will Be Waiting, All Woman, Make Love to You. First Joy was pretty good, and A Little More Love. I thought that was pretty dope too, man. But yeah, pretty good stuff right here. Like I said, you guys like that house R&B from like the early '90s, like Soul to Soul, that kind of stuff. Loose Ends. Especially this the last time they dropped in 1990. If you like that kind of stuff, then I think you'll definitely enjoy this right here. But it's like a little bit more mellow, but it still is good. But yeah, Real Love with Lisa Stanfield. This is released in 1991. Real Love. All right. Now we're gonna go to the slums of Shaolin. Show my man, Raekwon, the chef, man, with the Fila album, the Fly International Luxurious Art album. This was released in 2015. So the story of this album originally was supposed to come out back in 2013, because there was an EP or a mixtape rather called Lost Jewelry, that was supposed to promote the release of this album, but this album kept getting pushed back because he was doing a lot of touring at that time, and then not only that, but he was also working on the abominable, horrible album, A Better Tomorrow by Wu-Tang, that came out in 2014. So his mindset was on that, so he had to push this back, and eventually it came out in 2015. Yeah, so I'm gonna keep it real with you. I prefer Lost Jewelry over this album. I just gotta keep it real. Like, the beats are a lot better. I mean, it's probably the same producers that was on Lost Jewelry is on this album, but I kind of feel like Lost Jewelry has like a more street edge to it, in my personal opinion. But there are a couple singles off the album. You got All About You. That's with Estelle. Damn, what happened to Estelle? I haven't heard from her in a while. Not that I really listen to her music like that, but I remember she was like out and about. But yeah, Soundboy Kill It, Wall to Wall, 1212. Standout tracks for me are 4 in the Morning. That was pretty good, featuring Ghostface. 1212. That was pretty good with Snoop Dogg. Scoop DeVille did the beat. Scoop DeVille, for those who don't know, that's Kid Frost's son. Dope producer from the West Coast and stuff like from LA and things like that. Live to Die was pretty good, and Reverie, featuring Rick Ross and Ghostface Killer. But everything else I could have done without. It was it's okay. I felt like the album was kind of rushed in my personal opinion. But it's okay. I put it in the same vein as The Wild. You know what I mean? The Wild's a little bit better than this album, but yeah, Raekwon over the years, he's been kind of hit and miss. Obviously his best albums, in my opinion, would be like albums like Cupid, The Purple Tape, Cuban Links, Shaolin versus Wu-Tang, Only Built for Cuban Links 2. That's about it for me. I mean, I do like Immobility. I do have a new appreciation for the album. It's not that great. I would have to do a review on that album eventually, because I know Immobility gets a lot of hate. But yeah, I have a new appreciation for the album one day. But I'll review that one day. But yeah, Raekwon, Fly International Luxurious Art, the Fila album, released in 2015. Alright, next album, we'll go to Best Style. We go with Lil C's, The Wonderful World of Caesar Leo, released in 1999. Junior Mafia, Lil C's of Junior Mafia, finally released his first time, his debut album. Even to today's standards, even back then, this looks mad sus. I don't know what the fuck he was thinking with this shit right here. But surprisingly, it got some good stuff on here, man. Now, granted, he's not the best MC in the world, but the beats definitely carried him, if you will. I do, there are two singles. The singles are, let me see, Play Around and Chicken Heads. Those are the singles of the album. To me, standout tracks for me is More Dangerous featuring Busta Rhymes, Mr. Bristol, and G Dep. G Dep, hold your head up, man. That Child of the Ghetto album, fire. Um, let's see, Looking for a Lady was pretty good. Play Around, Chicken Heads. I fucking love Chicken Heads. It samples that Kashif sample. It's from his, I think it's from his first album, the self-titled album. I forgot the name of this beat, the sample that he used for that, but that was pretty good. For My Niggas was pretty good. Featured Jay Z, Blake C, and Mr. Bristol. And let me see what else. Don't Stop was pretty good, and everything with 112, that was pretty good. But yeah, it's not a bad album because like I used to always see it back in the day, but I never picked it up because I'm like, Lil C's, nah. You know what I mean? But I gave it a chance. Like I went, I found it. I was like, you know what, pick it up. It's not bad. So, but yeah, Lil C's with his debut album, The Wonderful World of Caesar Leo, um, released in 1999, and this is like the only album he ever dropped. So I had to throw that out there. All right. Oh man, shit. All right, next album is the P.O.D. Power of the Dollar. This was released 2001. Prince of Darkness. So originally he was part of a group called the Young Restless, I think, was the name of the group that he was part of back in the early '90s. Like it was kind of like a Miami based kind of like Two Life Crew kind of. Yeah, I think the name of the group was called Young and Restless, and yeah, like I said, that was early '90s stuff. But this album, like I said, came out 2001. It was released under Po' Entertainment. So Po' Entertainment, I had to do some digging, some research. So Po' Entertainment it's just kind of like a subsidiary of Slip and Slide Records. So they have like close ties to them. And Po' is very important because Po' Entertainment put out the likes of Jackie O, Rick Ross, Flow Rider, things like that. This song was like the first release of Po' Records or Entertainment rather. It's kind of like the guinea pig of that. And man, this shit got some stuff, man. Definitely reminiscent of Trick Daddy. If you like Trick Daddy, like that style of hip hop, especially like the first four albums, then I think you'll definitely enjoy this album. That's what I got from that, especially like the beats and stuff like that. Um, the single of the album is "Something's Going On." That was the single of the album, featuring Trick Daddy and Rick Ross. Like I said, Rick Ross got his start under Po' Entertainment, so I just had to throw that out there. Um, Standout tracks for me: Spotlight, I Told Ya, Puffin' Crip, Wise Guys, I Ain't Fucking With You. That was pretty good. Um, Damn It, Mind Over Matter, Hey Y'all, My Dog, Hot Sauce, Mr. Flim Flam, Something's Going On, My Block, Scared to Look, Dear God. Yeah, this is pretty good. I mean, I'll be real with you, this is a blind buy for me. And I was like, I didn't want to take a chance, but I was like, fuck, I did. And I'm glad I picked it up. But yeah, P.O.D., The Power of Dollars, released in 2001. Dope shit. Alright, next album. Unfazed. The self-titled track Unfazed. This was released in 1994. I believe it's like the only album they came out with. They're an R&B group from South Carolina, I believe. Um, they kind of remind me of Shy, with the whole acapella style of singing, that kind of thing. I'm not really a big fan of that, kind of like that doo-wop. I could take that in doses, but not a whole album. I thought I was gonna get that just because of the first song. Oh yeah, it was kind of like in that vein. But I'm glad it wasn't. Um, the singles of the album is "Spend the Night" and "Kiss and Say Goodbye." Really enjoyed "Spend the Night." That was produced by R. Kelly, and I liked how the person that had it crossed out R. Kelly's name. I'm like, come on, guy, like, like, come on, like, whatever. Um, But standout tracks for me are Spend the Night, Turning Tricks, 69 Ways, Old Baby, and Mother. Those are like to me like the standout tracks. The rest of the album's kind of for me. It definitely has like a hip hop R&B kind of feel to it. You know what I mean? Some of the songs kind of reminiscent of like in the same vein as the Jodeci, Diver Madman with like the hip hop influence type of beats and that kind of thing. Kind of that to that vein, if you will. Spend the Night definitely has like that 12 play born in the 90s kind of feel as far as like the dark production. More so 12 play kind of has that feel. It sounds like something he would have made for that album. But yeah, it's a pretty decent album, but not the best, but I was like, you know what? Let me pick it up. But yeah, End Phase, the self-titled album, released in 1994. All right, so now we're gonna go to Harlem. I'm gonna go with my man Mase with a Double Up. This was released in 1999. This was the last one he dropped before he retired. This when he became like a pastor, whatever the case may be. That would only last for like 5 years, and then like '04 he came out with Welcome Back, which I did see, but I didn't bother picking it up. But if I do see it again, I'll pick it up, and I need to get his first album. But yeah, getting back to Mase, the single off this album was "Get Ready" with Blackstreet, which was horrible. That was a horrible, 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 horrible album. I did not like that song at all. Um, and then this album came out the same time. I think before or after Puffy's or Diddy's Forever album that came out the same year, which was another horrible. I hated that album, but to me the standout tracks for me is Same Niggas. That was pretty dope. Fuck Me, Fuck You was pretty cool with my son, a very young my son. Story to Tell, I fucking love that song. That shit goes hard. Story to Tell was pretty good. Another Story to Tell, rather, I should say. You Ain't Smart was pretty good. Let's see what else. And From Scratch. So it's like the standout tracks for me that I like. But everything else I didn't really care for. You know what I mean? But I mean Mase. He's underrated. But I feel like if he had better beats, he would be a force to be reckoned with, man. But it's just like him being under Puff. He's gonna be all under that fluff. And Mase was supposed to be the next big thing for New York. Especially after Big's death, but it never panned out. You know what I mean? So, but like I said, he ended up leaving New York right after the making of his, right after the release of this album. It was like more than like over street beef, that kind of thing. But it's just something you could look up yourself. But Double Up by Mase, released in 1999. All right, next album we're gonna go to Oakland or Atlanta, rather. Um, we go with Too Short with his Nationwide 2. Ghetto Pass, the compilation, released in 2000. I do have the first one that came out in 98. This was released under Short Records. Short Records being his record label at the time. Yeah, there's some decent tracks on here. Not as good as the first one, but there was some decent tracks. Like you got songs like I'll Take Your Hoe. That was pretty cool. Can't Stop. Uh, Should Have Had Your Thugs was pretty cool. Ride and Roll. Ride and Roll, that shit goes hard. With Lazy Bone, Mo Thugs, and Slick Capone. That was pretty dope. You Nasty remix was cool. That was a Too Short solo track. That's Where I'm From with Coffee. Let's see who else. Keep Paging Me with Quint Black and Too Short, and Head with from Up All Night crew. That was a crew that Too Short had at some point. He's always in groups, so he always has groups under him and that kind of thing. And Strike 3 was Start featuring Murder One, the G side. Overall, pretty cool album. I prefer the first one from '98. I think that one was better. But this one was cool. I'm glad I have this because I never thought I'd find it, but I got it for a decent price. But yeah, Nationwide 2, Ghetto Pass, the compilation released in 2000. Still on the Atlanta side of things. Oh, Oakland. Too Short with Married the Game. This was released in 2003. Definitely one of his most commercial albums. Um, I mean, you got this song that Shake That Monkey. Yes, it's on this album. I fucking hate that song, but if you go to a strip club, you're definitely gonna see some things shaking. Yeah, but it got some decent songs on here. You got the song "Choosing" featuring Jagged Edge and Jazzy Faye. Jazzy Faye did the beat for that. I believe that was a single as well. Um, what else was dope? Um, What's She Gonna Do? That was pretty cool. That was produced by Ant Banks. That was pretty good. What else? That's How It Goes Down. Hobo Hoeing, Get It, Don't Act Like That. Those are like the only songs that I like. Everything else I didn't really care for. Um, like the first half of the album was produced by Lil Jon. I mean, you could hear it, you know what I mean. And then the other producer, I forgot his name, top of my head, but yeah, not his best. I prefer his early stuff. Obviously his '80s and his '90s stuff. You know what I mean. I think it's like his best stuff. You know what I mean. But yeah, Too Short, Married to the Game, released in 2003. All right, now we're in Oakland. We get with my boy Drew Down with Phernalia, released in 2001. Yeah, this is like a kind of independent album that you can definitely tell. Um, that one was okay. It has some decent stuff. Like you got songs like let's see, I think the singles of the album is "I'm a Pimp" and "Make You Wanna." Those are the two singles of the album. Um, the standout tracks for me I like is "I Do." That was pretty good. Let's Get High, and Make You Wanna. Those are like the standout tracks. Everything else I could have done without. Um, I prefer his early stuff like Explicit Game. I definitely need to get Can You Feel Me? Definitely need to get my hands on that, but that album tends to go for a little money online. But if I get it for a decent price, definitely would scoop it up. But yeah, Drew Down, Paraphernalia is released in 2001. All right. Then we got we're gonna go to Brooklyn, Flatbush to be exact. We go Busta Rhymes with Back on My BS or Back on My Bullshit. This was released in 2009. For some reason, I always thought it was 2011. This came out. It's actually 2009. No for singles. What were the singles? Single Arab Money. Oh my god, that song was all over the radio. I can't stand that shit. To this day, I got my Arab money. You got stupid niggas saying, "Yo, I got that Arab money." What the fuck out of here, you stupid motherfucker. Anyways, so you got like I said, you got Arab Money, Hustler's Anthem '09, Respect My Conglomerate, and World Go Round. Um, yeah, the singles for me were the issues too. And but yeah, there was some standout tracks for me. Wheel of Fortune, that was pretty dope. DZ Scratch did the beat for that. That was pretty dope. We Want In, that was pretty cool. What was another single another joint that was dope? Um, let's see. That was yeah. We Want In, and I think that was pretty Indecision. That was like the only song that I liked. Everything else I didn't really care for. Um, but yeah, everything else was I don't know, man. This album just felt rushed, man. Back on My BS because coming back from you know the Big Bang, that was a comeback album because after Anarchy, he came out with Genesis, which was kind of to me. Then he had It Ain't Safe No More was kind of in my as well. But yeah, this time was no different. So I always feel like Busta Rhymes been kind of hit or miss. Right after Big Bang, like he kind of whatever. But yeah, Back in My BS released in 2009. All right, next album we're gonna go to Canada. We're gonna go with Snow with his third album, Just Us. This was released in 1997. Um, no, 96. I'm sorry, this came out in 96. Um, or 97, depending on where you get it from. But I would say like 96. But yeah, Just Us. This is his third album because you had 12 Inches of Snow, which I do have. Then you got Murder Love that dropped in 1995, which that is a fucking dope album. And then you got this album. So yeah, this album right here, um, is funny because this is like one of the albums that he really couldn't promote on the U.S. because of his criminal past and that kind of thing, and he has a criminal record and stuff like that. So, with his visa, he wasn't really allowed to you know do anything in the U.S. But ironically, the song was really popular in overseas, like in Japan and stuff like that. The singles off this album is Steadily Woe, and Boom Boom Boogie. Those are the singles of the album. Um, for me, standout tracks is Steadily Woe. Um, Check Out the Way, that was pretty good. Check Out the Way is Going Down, that was pretty dope. Um, Day and Night was pretty good. Anything for You, the All Star Cast remix, that was dope. What was another? The Boom Boom Boogie, Hey Mr. DJ, um, and Mercy Mercy Mercy. Those are like the standout tracks for me. Everything else was kind of eh. Because this is another album that he actually stayed in Jamaica to kind of get that feel. You know what I mean? The same thing with Murder Love. Like he spent like I think close to a year in Jamaica recording Murder Love, and the same thing with this album. You know what I mean? But this was considered to be like his lowest selling album. Didn't really do very well in the charts, but it's a decent album. You know what I mean? I showed you guys the Mind of the Moon album. Um, I think like sometime last year, or it's a couple months ago. I don't remember. Which was a decent album, but kind of had like that NSYNC kind of pop feel to it. You know what I mean? I wasn't really digging that. And then there's an album that he dropped before that called Cool Conditions that dropped in 1999, which is practically the same album as Mind of the Moon. The only difference was Mind of the Cool Conditions was like mostly produced by MC Shan, if you will. The Mind of the Moon is practically the same album, but it's remixed to kind of have like a more I guess commercial appeal. Because whereas Cool Conditions was only released in Japan, you couldn't get that here in the States. So, excuse me, sorry. So that's the thing with that. But yeah, Snow with Just Us released in 1996-97. All right. Next album, we'll go to the Boogie Down Bronx. Forest Houses, Trinity Ave, to be exact. We go with Fat Joe with The Elephant in the Room. This was released in 2009. This came out 2000. No, is it 2009? No, 2000. Yeah, no, 2008. Sorry. No for singles. I Won't Tell and Ain't Saying Nothing. Those are the singles of the album. Standout tracks for me is The Fugitive, 300 Brolic with Opera Steve, My Conscious with KRS-One. That shit is dope, and then That White. Those are the only standout tracks. The rest, like, is kind of could have done without. In my opinion, like right after like Me Myself and I, is when he kind of fell off. In my opinion, he's been kind of hit and miss, but for me, his first four albums are his first three are classics in my opinion. But I have a new appreciation for Jose and Loyalty, but before that, But I was all about the first three Fat Joe albums, man. But yeah, Fat Joe with The Elephant in the Room released in 2008. Alright, next time we're going to the Hollis Queens. El Cool J with 10. This is his ninth album released in this was released in 2002. Known for singles Love You Better, Paradise. What was the other single of this album? All I Have, and Amazing. Those are the singles of the album. Love You Better and Paradise are like the only songs I really enjoyed of this album. I didn't really like this album at all. I know I have to do a review on the album. I did a good majority of his albums. Still need to get Radio because I don't have that in my collection. I know I should have gotten that years ago, but shame on me, right? But I will get it. It's just like one of those albums. Like I'll get it eventually. But yeah, this album, I just the the direction that he was going for in this album was kind of and then like the Neptune's productions, man, it's just like they're very hit and miss for me, and they were all over this album, and yeah, I could have done without this, but I'm just glad I got it, to add on to the collection. But yeah, Love You Better in Paradise, but especially Love You Better, that beat, whoo, fire. 10 by L Cool J, released in 2002. All right, next album. I'm so glad I got this right here. Cause this album's kind of hard to find. It's very rare. But I'm glad I got it, and it is JT the Bigga Figga with his first debut album, Don't Stop Till We Major. This was released in 1992. This is the 2006 reissue. Um, so the story of this album is that it was really originally released in 1992, but it was cassette only. It wasn't until like 1995 was when he reissued it, and it was available on CD. Um, but yeah, this whole album is fucking dope, man. Rest in peace to Gigolo, who did the beat, one of the beats on this album. I think he did I forgot the song, the SFC. I think he did the beat for that. Um, he ended up passing away, like I think like last month or a couple weeks ago. JT the Bigger Figure mentioned him on Instagram on one of his posts, saying like he taught me everything around the studio. I'm not sure if he necessarily means that he taught him how to make beats, but I just like as far as the mixing and things like that. Because JT the Bigger Figure, he's a one man army. He makes the beats, he does the promo, he does all. He's a CEO, all that shit. He was only 18 when he dropped this album. But you got songs like the Bigger Figure, that shit is dope. Victim of the Vapes, fucking love that song featuring Demo that I showed you guys his first album from '94, pretty dope. Appetizer was pretty good. The Hard Way, the self-titled track Don't Stop Till You Major. The SFC, which was like a posse, because it was RBL Posse and his crew. Um, Not My 9 to 5, that was pretty good. Mind Your Own. I mean, the whole thing is fucking dope. Get My Money, which is like an instrumental joint. That was pretty good. Me and My Nigga. I mean, the whole album is dope, man. I really enjoyed this. I'm glad I got it. It's a reissue, but I'm glad I got it because the OG usually goes for like a lot of money. I got this for like $40, but I spent a little bit more than I wanted to. But yeah, I definitely glad I got my hands on this. But J to the Bigger Figure, Don't Stop Till We Major, released in 1992. Dope shit. Now we're gonna go to Houston, Texas. It's an album I should have had years ago, but I was like, fuck it, let me get it, and I got it for a cheap price. So let me. And it is Scarface with the Untouchables. This is his third solo album. Came out in 1997. Known for the single "Smile" and "Mary Jane." Those are and the Game Over. Those are the three singles of the album. Yeah, pretty dope album right here. Um, Not gonna lie, I'm a little over the song "Smile." I've heard that song so many fucking times. I've heard it so much times. So it's like one of those things. Like, yeah, I'm like, I'm a little over it. But it's a pretty good song. But No Warning, love that joint. Sunshine, For Real, Your Money or You're Gone, whoo, fire. Mary Jane and Game Over. Those are the standout tracks for me on that album. But on this album. But yeah, this is a classic album. Dope shit. Scarface, The Untouchable. This was released in 1997. Dope shit. Alright, we're still in the Houston, Texas side of things. We're gonna go with Scarface with My Balls and My Word, released in 2003. So the story of this album is that these are pretty much songs that he had like in a cutting room floor that never made it to any of the albums. Like stuff like that. So this album was not put out. Um, he wasn't received permission. Jay Prince was just being petty and put this out. This was like a cash in by Rap A Lot Records. And I remember I used to always see the promo for this album on Double XL in the Source magazine back in like '03 and stuff like that. I used to always see that. And I saw it on eBay and I was like, and I saw it for dirt cheap. I was like, you know what, let me go pick it up. And you know what? It's actually not bad. It got some stuff, man. I mean, you got songs like Recognize, that was pretty good. On My Grind featuring Zero. Um, Only a Mother featuring Devin the Dude and Teller. And what's another good song? Mind Your Peace was pretty good. No, excuse me, Make Your Peace, excuse me. That was pretty good. And Dirty Money featuring Tanya Heron. Um, Everything else was okay, but those to me were like the standout tracks. Like I said, these are like songs that he had in the cut room floor that he never had intentionally of putting out. But Jay Prince, being who he is, he put it out, So, but yeah, Scarface with My Balls, My Word, released in 2003. So it's not an official album; it's more of a compilation. So I just had to throw that out there. All right. After Houston, Texas, we're gonna take a flight to JFK. We're going to South Jamaica, Queens. We're gonna go with G Unit with Terminate on Sight. This was released in 2008. Um, yeah, pretty decent album. It's a pretty good. It's not. It's okay. It's an okay album. Um, this is an album that I felt a little rushed, if you will. If that makes sense. Um, because I felt like the mixtapes that were promoting this album were better. Like Return of the Body Snatchers. Oh my god, that mixtape alone should have been this album. I mean, perfect plethora of, oh my, everything. Even the girl songs on the mixtapes are dope. But you got joints like straight. The single I believe of this album is I Like the Way She Do It, Rider Part 2, and Close to Me. Those are the singles of the album. And to me, the issue with this album are the singles. The single choices were trash. I didn't like the singles, but the album covers is pretty dope. I do like Straight Out of the South Side. That was pretty good. That was the first song off the album. Casualties of War. That was pretty good. Um, You're So Tough. That was pretty good. No Days Off, featuring Young Buck. Um, the self-titled track T.O.S. Terminate on Sight. Kitty Cat was pretty good. Let It Go, featuring Movado. Dope Jamaican DJ. Let's see who else. It's another dope song. Let It Go was pretty good. Get Down, Ready or Not. Those are the standout tracks for me. But like I said, guys, if you guys can check out Return of the Body Snatchers by G Unit, it's on YouTube. Do yourself a favor and check that shit out, man, and just get back to this and let me know what you guys think. But yeah, it's a pretty decent album, but I felt like um the production choices and some of the songs and like the single choices were horrible. But it's not a bad album. I just felt it was a little rushed. But G Unit, the second and last time they dropped as a group, Terminate on Side, released in 2008. And the reason why it said featuring Young Buck because by that time Young Buck was on with G Unit, so that's why they say featuring Young Buck. So I had to throw that out there. But yeah, Terminate on Sight by G Unit, released in 2008. All right, next album we can go to Long Island, Long Island, particularly Amityville. De La Soul with this is their fifth album, the Artificial Intelligence Mosaic Thump. I have the other one. I thought I had this album. I didn't. I had the other one. This was released in 2000. Known for singles Ooh, with Redman, Through Your City, and All Good with Chaka Khan. I never liked that song. Never liked it. But standout tracks for me is You Can Do Life in parentheses. That was pretty cool. Ooh with Redman, that was pretty good. There's another song. View, that was pretty good. Um, Actually, that song View kind of reminds me of something that could have been on Stakes is High. It kind of has like that feel to it, so that was pretty good. Um, it's like a leftover track from that album. Set the Mood, Declaration, You Don't Wanna, and You Don't Want BDS with Freddie Fox. That was pretty cool. Um, yeah, that was pretty much it. This album was okay. It wasn't the best, but I'm glad I got it. And I got it for a decent price. And I got it from the UK because like the one here in the States are kind of like like crazy prices. But because Tommy Boy was nice enough to actually put out the physicals, like to give them the rights to put out physicals again. Um, definitely need to hop on that. You know what I mean? Definitely need to get my hands on Stakes is High. So, but yeah, De La Soul with Artificial Intelligence, Mase Thump released in 2000. All right, then from Long Island, we're gonna go to Brownsville. We're gonna take the Belt Parkway, go to Brownsville real quick. Show my boys M.O.P. This is the third album. First Family for Life, released in 1998. This is an album I already have, but I threw away the case back in the day because back in the day I would just get like the CD case. I would have like the CD booklet, have the CD and the booklet, but I would just throw away the case and like never doing that again. So I was young, I didn't know any better. But I had to get this album again because this album is so fucking dope. It is a little pricey online, but if you could find it for a decent price, definitely pick it up. It's not like break your pockets expensive. It's like in the teens and that kind of thing, but it's definitely worth the money, man. Don't only know for the single "Fall Alarm Blaze" with Jay-Z, where they used the Eye of the Tiger sample, the Survivor Eye of the Tiger sample. I think Tef caught a body on that song in my opinion. People say Jay-Z, but it's stating the obvious. But for me, I think Tef he caught a body on that shit. Um, Everything on this album was fucking dope. Um, Breaking the rules, even the Billy skit, this intro that was dope. Falling on Blaze, Blood, Sweat, and Tears, fucking love that. Um, Down for Whatever with OC. My Kind of Nigga Part 2 featuring Headed B, because that song was, the first one was actually on Headed B's first album, Taking Mine, which is a very underrated album. I Love with Freddie Fox, whoo, he caught a body on that shit. Salute Part 2 with Gangstar, oh my god, that shit's dope. Handle Your Business, the Primo remix, the DJ Premier remix. My favorite song, Fly Nigga Hill Figure, fucking love. Yo, whoo. Yo, Lil Phil, caught a body when he said, what he said is I bet you that pussy that stink like your attitude. Hold that down. I always loved that line. That was dope. Downtown Swinging 98. Brooklyn Jersey Get Wild for your Church of Naughty by Nature and New York Salute. I mean, those songs are fire, man. Very underrated album. Very, very underrated. One of my favorite albums from them. Like, their first four albums are the best albums, the classics, in my opinion. But if I had to choose out of the four, I would have to say Fine Squad is like my favorite album from them. But yeah, I'm just glad I got this joint right here because like their early stuff tend to be more expensive and very hard to find. Especially like Fine Squad and To the Death are kind of hard to find. But yeah, M.O.P. First Family for Life released in 1998. All right. Now we're gonna go to JFK. Now we're gonna go to the Yay area, Bay Area. We're gonna be chilling with my boy E40, sipping on some Hurricane. We chill with the Mailman. This was released in 1993. Yeah, this is the reissue. This is the 1995 reissue. It's known for the single Captain Save-A-Ho. So you guys know what Captain Save-A-Ho is. This is where you got it from. Everybody's been using that, or they would call it Simps. But Captain Save-A-Ho, this is where you got it from. So you got it from this album right here. But yeah, this shit got fired, man. You got songs like Never Broke, that was pretty good. Bring the Yellow Tape, that shit goes hard. Where the Party At. Captain Save-A-Hole. I mean, the whole album's dope, man. Or EP rather. Ballin' Out of Control. Oh my god, that shit good. The beat for that, fire, 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 fire. Dope shit right there. And how you can tell it's the reissue is because the Jive record label logo, and then you got the bonus tracks. You got Ballin' Out of Control. You got the Captain Save-A-Hole Posse Cut remix. So that's how you can tell it's the reissue, man. Honestly, that's the best way to have it, in my opinion. There's really no difference between the original and the reissue. The only difference is the original has 6 strongs. This has 8, so it's pretty cool to have. But yeah, the Mailman EP by E40, released in 1993. I thought I had this, but I had F.I.L.A, so just had to get that. You know what I mean? So E40, the Mailman, released in 1993. Dope shit. Alright, we're still in Vallejo. Next album, we go with E40 with Loyalty and Betrayal. This was released in 2000. Man, I remember there was a single off this album called Behind Gates with Ice Cube. I was like, yo, I fell in love with that song. It's like I downloaded that shit off Kazaa, and I put it like on my little mixtape, and I just had to get that. So by the way, this and the Mailman, I got it from a lot. So it was like a 2 CD lot. This being this and Mailman being a lot off eBay. So just had to get that. I got it for a great price, so I couldn't pass it up. Plus, I need to get more E40 stuff. I mean, at least his 90s stuff. His 90s stuff is pretty good. Like I need to get Hall of Fame and Element Surprise. I gotta get those. I already have the Federal album. I already have In a Major Way. So I just gotta get like, Hall of Fame and the Element Surprise, and I gotta get those. And I'm pretty much good on the 90s stuff. But anyways, getting back to this album, the singles off this album was Nah Nah featuring Nate Dogg and Behind Gates featuring Ice Cube. So this album is definitely heavily featured compared to his earlier albums, but they all do their thing. I mean, you got songs like Loyalty and Betrayal, the self-titled track was pretty good. Lace Me Up was pretty good. Sinister M.O.P, that shit goes hard. Nah Nah, Behind Gates, and Clown With It. Dope shit right here. Good stuff right here. E40 with Loyalty and Betrayal, released in 2000. Dope shit. Alright, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4. So I got 4 more to go, and then that'll be it for today. Alright. Next time we're gonna go back to Houston, Texas. We go with My Homies by Scarface. This was released in 1998. I know I should have put this with after the Untouchable, but I'm just showing you guys the order that I bought it from. So that's how I have it. You know what I mean? So I could have easily done that, but I don't know. It's just OCD like that, I guess. But known for the singles. What are the singles? Homie and Thugs, Fuck Faces, and Win or Lose Draw. So the song Homie and Thugs, there's 2 versions. You got the remix and you got the original version. So the remix is the one that people know of, the one with Tupac, and that one, the beat for that is fire. That is a dope beat. I really enjoyed that. Standout tracks for me, My Homies, is do what you do. Homies and Thugs remix was pretty good. The Ghetto, Fuck Faces, What's Going On, Too Real, Rules for Real Niggas, that was pretty good. Win or Lose Draw, Overnight, Small Time was pretty good. Crunch Time, that was pretty good. That was from the first to the second disc. City Under Siege, that shit goes hard. Do What You Want, Boo Booin' with Devin the Dude, which I believe that song was actually featured on his first album from '98 as well, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that. You Owe Me was pretty good. In My Blood, Sleeping on My Nikes featuring Seagram, recipes to him. That song was actually featured um on the Soul and Ice album from '96 that Seagram put out. This was another good album, so I need to get my hands on. What else? Another good song. Greed was pretty good. Who Runs This? That was pretty good. Cocaine. That was dope. All Night Long. Whew. Um, Use Them Hoes. That was pretty good. Menace Nigga. Menace Niggas Never Die. That was pretty good. The original version with the original beat, Homies and Thugs, and yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah, good stuff right here, man. It's crazy because I bought this album recently, but here's the issue. So I didn't know, but the dude had this cut, and then you don't see the tray inlet, like the title and shit like that. So that kind of bothered me. So I just ended up buying the new one. So it has everything, and it's complete. So I had to get that. So, but I'm gonna keep this one anyway. So whatever the case may be. But yeah, my homies Scarface, released in 1998. Dope shit, classic. Underrated in my opinion. I don't really hear some people talk about that. Because when people talk about Scarface, they always talk about the Diary or the Fix, but they never talk about his other stuff like his first album, Mr. Scarface is Back. The World Is Yours was another underrated. Those two albums alone is underrated. The Untouchables, people know about that, and Last of a Dying Breed. That album, oh my god, I fucking love that album. All right, so we got three more. Now we need to go to San Francisco, aka the F.I.L.A specifically. San Quinn with Live and Direct, released in 1995. This is his second album. This album was like fully produced by JT the Bigga Figga. There was one song that JT the Bigga Figga didn't do. I think it was a Tight Lacing. I think was a song that he didn't do. I forgot the producer that did it, but everything else, San Quinn. JT the Bigga Figga did. I'm so glad I got this. I got this for $37. But I couldn't pass it up because this album usually goes for a lot of money online. But for me, standout tracks for me are Capturing the Rapture, You Better Come In, fucking love that. That could have been a single, right? Especially at that time. That was pretty good. A Tight Lacing, All Day, Every Day, fucking love that song right there. Young G's Perspective with Mac Mall, fire. Beneath the Layers, excuse me. The self-titled track Live and Direct. What Goes On and How Low Can You Go was like a posse cut of all the Ghetto players being Demo, Seth the Gaffler, San Quinn, and JT the Bigga Figga. But yeah, great album right here. Definitely would like to get my hands on his first album, Don't Cross Me, that came out in '93. But that usually goes for a lot of money. I've seen it go for like $60 online. So, it's like one of those things. And I definitely need to get his third album, The Hustle Continues, that came out in '96. That shit goes hard too, with Shock the Party and songs like that. But yeah, San Quinn, Live and Direct, released in 1995. This is the reissue too. I think this is the 2000. This is like the 2004. Yeah, this is the 2004 reissue, but I'm glad I got it. So, but yeah, dope shit. All right. And we got two more. Next up, we're gonna go to LA. Pico area, Pico and Union. Sick Jackin and Cynic with the Terror Tapes. This was released in 2006. Shout out to my boy Ricardo of Speaking Cloud Podcast. He put me on to the link to this. Cause he told me for a while, for years, this album was like this mixtape was like more out of print. It was like out of print. I thought it was an album. I thought it was like a compilation album of like unreleased stuff, like songs they had on the cutting room floor. But it's just like a mixtape. It's them rapping over like industry beats and stuff like that. Like Ill Bill beats, Beanie Siegel and stuff like that. So I was a little disappointed with it. But it's dope. You know, you get what you get with Sick Jack with Psycho Realm. They're fucking dope. Standout tracks for me, See the Light, Sovereign State, and Not Guilty. Those are like the standout tracks for me. But like I said, it's a dope mixtape, but I was kind of expecting more you know, original beats, if that makes sense, not like industry beats. So, but yeah, but I'm glad I got it because, like I said, he you know, because this was like out of print for years, so he just recently put them out. So yeah, it's pretty cool. But Terror Tapes Volume One by Sick Jack and Cynic, dope shit. And Cynic, you need to put that album out, the Illuminati or DJ Muggs. Waiting for that, man. Waiting for that. And last but not least, we go to Philly. Oh, the Youngsters with their second album, The Aftermath, released in 1993. Fucking love this album. This album is so fucking dope. They had an album that they dropped before this, back in '92. I think it was called Something for the Young. That came out in '92. Kind of like a more softer approach. This has like a more grittier, more aggressive approach compared to the first album. This is a really dope album, man. You got the song Wild Child with Beat Nuts. Fucking love that beat. That shit goes hard. Is You With Me, Cruise Pop. You know, Naughty by Nature did KG, but it was produced by Naughty by Nature, but it's really KG that did the beat for that. Cruise Pop, Lyrical Stick Up Kids, I fucking love that song. That shit just goes hard. Honeycomb Hideout was pretty good. It's Natural, Rip a Rhyme, Wake 'em Up. I mean, yeah, this whole album was fucking dope, man. I really enjoyed that. I already have their No Mercy album that came out in '94. Definitely have that. That's another great album. And I know they recently released their Illy Philly Funkster album that came out in '95 by 90 Tapes. Definitely need to get my hands on that. So I get paid on Friday, so I'll definitely get my hands on that. But yeah, the Youngsters, with The Aftermath, released in 1993. Dope shit. That's it, folks. I hope you guys enjoyed that CD collection. Definitely stay tuned for more. Alright? Peace!